Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to my channel, PURPLEXEDQT, and I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. And I should be in Pennsylvania right now, but I'll explain to you guys what happened in the future and where we're going to go from here. So let me say hi to everyone, members, Patreon, subs, future Patreons, future members, future subs, and everyone in between. Haters, lurkers, and all that jazz. What's up, Cindy, Denise, Sly Angel? Oh, of course, my amazing mods. Camille, Angela, Denise, Amber, Crystal, Capone, Alexis. Alexis in the house. I think I got everyone so far. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Spitfire. Thank you, Denise. All right. So first things first, let me get a couple things out of the way. I am going to start this live with, I wouldn't say it's drama, because it's kind of like related to Danelo. But did anyone watch Heels' video today about Betty? Oh my God. I truly do not understand how Betty could be so wrong on so many damn topics in true crime. I don't get it. So if you haven't seen it, I'm going to play it because it's like a mind fuck. Like, how are you this stupid? And she acts like it's everybody else. Oh my God. It's bad. Like, really, really bad. So the other thing I want to talk about, I'm going to play it, Denise. You guys have to see it. I just can't with her. Like, and I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt, and I tried to, you know, be like, you know, leave Betty alone and stuff because I'm not going to, you know, bash her like everyone else. But holy fuck. She couldn't be more wrong if she tried. And it's almost comical. It really is. It's fucking comical. Other thing, but I'll get to that in a minute. Other thing I want to say is, so I was going to do a live tonight. Like, as you guys know, I'm still redoing my room and everything. And now I can't find anything. And I lost my vape somewhere. And I have no idea where it is. Thank God I have my other one. And I've looked everywhere. I can't find it anywhere. Anywhere. So then I tore apart my room again. And now I have to put it all back together. And I'm like, I need to do a fucking live. I have to drop videos in Patreon. It's just never ending, but I got to get my room in order because I'm like all over the place trying to find stuff. I can't find shit. So one of the lives I was going to do tonight is I was going to take you guys with me outside to my burn pit, and I was going to burn all my custody papers. So I decided, you know what, let me ask Dayton first. So Dayton says, Mom, why would you do that? I said, what the hell am I holding them on to them for? Like, he's dead. There's no reason to hold on to them. So he's like, I know for memories. I'm like, I have you for memories. He's like, oh, really? I said, yeah. And then I thought to myself, God forbid, knock on wood 1,000 times. What if something happened to Dayton? Would I be would I be mad that I threw away all these papers? So then I was like, Dayton, so you don't want me to burn them? He's like, I don't know. He's like, it's not like they mean anything to me. He's like, but it's still memories. I'm like, all right. So that kind of gave me a hint, like he really doesn't want me to burn them. So I'm like, all right, fine, I won't burn them. I'll leave them. I don't know where I'm putting them, but I guess I'll leave them. Sage was looking through them. She's like, Mom, what's this? What's this? I'm like, it's all the custody papers, at least half of them. The other half are in the garage. So, I guess I'll store them back in the, closet. That's what I'm saying. They're not needed, but it is memories. I mean, I looked through them and I laughed my ass off, but I guess he doesn't want me to burn them. I don't know. Don't do any good for me now. I mean, the man's dead, but I'll hold on to them. Burn that. That's what I'm saying. You know, like pictures of stuff. See, that's another thing, Sly Angel. I thought to myself, could I help someone else with all of them? Like, you know, messages between everything that went on in the custody fight. So, I don't know. I'm just like, I don't know. I love that you care about whose feelings? My son? Of course. Denise, wait till you see this. Just wait. She's so fucking off her rocker. So, no, not my parents. My ex. Oh, you're saying for dating. All right, I gotcha. That's what you might be right, Angela. You seriously might be right. I don't know. But I also want to let everyone know before we get into today. Oh, seriously, Sunshine? Yeah, but is the father dead? The one I was in a custody fight with is passed away. So why hold on to them? You know, every time I read them, I can't talk to him. I can't laugh with him. I can't say, this is what an asshole you are. Like, I can't do any of that because he's gone. So that's why I feel like there's no point in holding on to them. It's just, I don't know. So, I don't know. I don't know what to do now. I just don't see a point in holding on to them. But maybe she's right. Maybe Angela's right. Kids want anything they can for, you know, a parent that passed. See, Leslie, I hear you. I don't know. I just don't know. Since he didn't give me a definitive, yeah, Mom, I'll go outside and burn them with you. You know what I mean? But they are in storage. They were in storage. I'll hold on to them. I tell you, it's like this huge suitcase of papers. It's crazy. See, Leslie, I feel the same way. But maybe I should go through them and I don't know. I feel like I should. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Because part of me is like, he should see them. It's true, that girl. I agree. And it's like, should he see them? Should he see what a piece of shit he was? No, I'm not going to do that to him. So I just don't know. But I set up the burn pit and everything. I was like all prepared. Everything's in a bag to go. And Sage was like, Mom, what's this? And I'm not supposed to tell you guys, but Sage came home today because she missed me. But she's like, you're not allowed to tell anyone that I actually missed you. I said, oh, I'm not? She said, no. I said, well, I'm telling everyone. So she stopped home and she's like, Mom, what is this? I'm like, all the custody papers. So she's looking through it. She's like, oh my God, Mom, this was bad. I said, no, really? So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do. And I don't really want to go through piece by piece by piece. I mean, it's huge. It's literally a suitcase full of papers. So that's true, Leslie. I don't know. I keep saying, Brad, tell me what you want me to do. Should I burn them? Should I keep them? I'm not getting any answers. No answers from a dead person. So it is what it is. All right, second thing I want to tell you guys. I know some of you guys donated. If you guys want your money back donated for a trip, please let me know. For the ones that pledged me, obviously you didn't need to send anything, so thank you. But I also want to say this. The ones that did donate, it has not gone for nothing. What me and Granny's watching, and I don't know if I'm supposed to say this yet, but I am. Me and Granny's watching, we're talking this morning, and we're trying to come up with different ideas of really do boots on the ground, hook up together, team up, you know, fly certain places, and really do what is in our hearts and what we want to do. So we're trying to come up with ideas, a case, something that we can really dive into together and do it together and really work with each other, learn from each other, you know, and when I say boots on the ground, I'm not talking screaming in front of someone's house with a fucking microphone. We're not doing anything like that. But, you know, talk to neighbors, see the area, just, you know, stuff like that. But we're trying to find a case that is going to work and see what we can get done together. You know what I mean? Like, for those of you that don't know how I even met her, she was fighting with, I think, Natasha, or she was talking about Natasha Cooper at the time, and she really is a younger version of me. And I was like, I am totally adopting this kid. She is like my daughter. And she really is a younger version of me, like for real. And she wouldn't listen to me, which I didn't expect her to, but I tried to help her and warn her about the drama community and everything else. And she didn't want to listen. She knew better. The exact same way I was a couple of years ago. And you guys know, like, I wouldn't listen to you. I did what I wanted. It ended up biting me in the ass. She was the exact same way, and I knew she was going to be like that. And then we had a fight and everything else. And she's now in the drama community where I was like 2 years ago, just different people. So I get her. And I really think that, you know, she's trying to stay away from the drama. She wants to keep away from the drama. And she's in this, I don't know if I can stay away from the drama kind of thing, because, you know, everyone knows drama sells. So I think together we can push each other to stay out of the drama and really make some headway, like really do something. And I think we would make a really great team. So we're trying to come up with something, and we're trying to find a case that we can see how it goes, you know, meet each other, go somewhere. If we get along, which I don't see us not getting along, but, you know, get along, we can stay together, we can spend time together. I think it could be a really, really good team. So that's where her and I are at. We discussed that this morning. Even if I had gone out this morning, because I almost booked it at 4:30 in the morning. Like, everything was ready to go, and something in my gut said just wait, and I went back to bed. Besides the fact I was fucking totally exhausted, but I went back to bed. I woke up, he had been captured. But even if I had gone, we would have made the best of it. Like, I'm kind of upset. I kind of wanted to try Philly cheesesteak. I never had one. You know, we still would have spoke to neighbors and done everything. It just, something in my gut told me not to. And Dayton, I'm not ready to leave him alone yet, to be honest. So it's kind of why I didn't book it immediately. Like, if Phoenix was home or Sage was home, totally different. Then I would have no problem. I would have booked it yesterday. But leaving Dayton alone for even a day or two, I'm just not comfortable with it. He's as mature as he is. He's very, very not mature in certain ways. So, yeah. We're working on it, though. So that's where we're at. Yeah, Philly. I've never had a Philly cheesesteak. I've been to Philly, but I never had a Philly cheesesteak. So, like I said, I just think that her and I together could really do some good stuff. So, and keep us both out of the drama. You know, rebuild our channels and just, you know, do where our hearts are at. So that's what's going on with that. So like I said, we're looking for a case that we can go boots on the ground, not for standing in, you know, someone's fucking screaming at someone, but that's where we're at. Okay, so next, let me, tell me Yoda's not the cutest dog in the world. He's so cute. All right. Do. Share about the Uptown Stranger. Who's the Uptown Stranger? No, I have not. Uh, okay. Now, we all know that Betty and JLR used to be friends, okay? Hey, Tanya, we also know that Strangler. What's up, Granny? We also know that that Danelo killed a man in Brazil. I just learned about the case 2 days ago. Literally 2 days ago. Or now 3 days ago. What was it, Monday? Monday night or Tuesday? Yeah, it was Monday night that I got into the case. He was already on the loose for like 2 weeks. He was already on the run. And I caught up everything you needed to know within a day or two. There's absolutely no excuse why someone in true crime is this stupid. Hold on. All right. And I will say to Heels, I like her new opening. Not that she cares what I think, but I do like the new opening. Much better.
Show you guys something. Details matter. Details matter. Guys, notice anything of mistake in here? Maybe it's like 2002 white Ford Transit. When you're getting information out and it is like life or death, you're trying to get as much information out to the audience because you've got a lunatic running the streets of the United States of America. We thought he was in place in Pennsylvania, but now we're learning they have no clue where this man is.
Okay, first of all, the cops knew exactly where he was at all times. Nobody was running the world or the universe or anything else. Like, I just can't with her.
And so this man has already killed 2 women. One in Brazil and one here. The reason
No, he killed 1 man in Brazil and 1 woman.
Why he was going to kill he killed the one here is because she was about to tell law enforcement that he had a warrant out for his arrest from Brazil for killing another woman.
Okay, that is absolutely not true. Yes, she was blackmailing him, but she wasn't saying that he killed another woman. So, I don't know where she gets her facts from, but she couldn't be more wrong if she tried.
He ended up going out into the rec yard. You know, this is a fenced-in area, has razor wire fencing, you know, around the rec yard. It's supposed to be very secure, you know, prevent inmates from getting out. Remember, this is a privatized...
He was in a county...
Yeah, he was in a county jail. There was no private anything. It was a county jail, period. County jails are paid for by the county. Taxpayers. It's where you go for bullshit arrest or before you go to prison.
Facility. Government facility.
Privatized, a privatized system now. The government has no control. They're in privatized companies and other things. So people make money off the backs of our criminal system. That's why you have to pay $15 for a cup of noodle soup, right? We have...
What the fuck is she talking about? You have to pay $15 for a cup of soup. No, you don't. But what the fuck is she even talking about? Betty, get a clue in life.
have an escapee on the loose. And not only that, but they didn't even report him for 2 hours.
That's not quite what happened, but okay.
This is the problem with these private companies. They're so scared of getting in trouble. They want to keep it all quiet until they can.
Yeah, that's it, Betty. That's what happened. No, what happened was when they brought him back in for roll call, they realized he was missing. Okay? Yeah, prison canteens are overpriced, but it's not because of what she said. The canteens are overpriced because the canteens are private and you're a criminal and they want to make money off of you. End of story.
And look at the situation that we're in. Way to go, privatized prisons.
It's not a privatized prison, Betty. It's a fucking county jail.
Way to go, private.
Literally everything she said was incorrect. Now she's going to lie about SF Investigates.
He's truly licensed in California. That's true. He's asking the family for money to fly him out there for his room and his meals.
Did she not do this for Summer Wells? Did she not tell that she needed everything for Summer Wells? Is she fucking joking?
His rooms and his meals, and he has a pilot license.
She believes because he has a pilot license, he can just fly himself there, without a plane.
And he's been on there for days saying how he does all this stuff out of the kindness of his heart, and he does these cases pro bono. That doesn't sound pro bono to me. Now we know why the second account, GoFundMe account, is set up.
It was set up to pay him for his services and to fly him out there in his room and board. So he's not asking them for money.
It's not to support the family, her father or her stepmother.
If I'm not mistaken, her mother has one set up as well. First it was, I think, for a reward, but why would they need a GoFundMe?
It's to fly him in and out from California to Kingsport, Tennessee. By the time you pay for one trip, airfare, car rental, hotel stay, and food, you would have already paid for yourself to have a licensed PI in the state of Tennessee that doesn't require to be flown in on your dime every time they need to do their job.
Now that part I agree with. That part I definitely agree with. Why are you doing a GoFundMe to fly out SF Investigates when you can hire one right in your state? So that part I agree with. But at the same time, it's none of her business. If they want to bring in an outside PI and they're raising money for him, that's perfectly fine too. That's none of her fucking business.
It's astonishing to me that she believes this is her business and that she would actually get on here and do this about a private investigator.
That is a freaking joke. And he's literally out there working right now to raise money to fly him to go do his job.
Which is exactly what you do every day. Oh my God.
And then you know what he says to me? Oh, you're not credentialed. I'm credentialed actually probably more than he'd like to know. It's not the credentialing he wants, but I definitely passed several level 2 FBI background checks.
The background checks that she passed were for her real estate license that she had for 1 year and then lost it.
I definitely know how to search. I definitely know how to bring attention to a case. And I definitely know how not to beg a family for money.
Okay, he has the GoFundMe set up. You just said it. And what does this have to do with finding Layla? You should be glad. You should mind your own business. how the father and the mother, the stepmother, are doing it. You're more worried about him making money.
But the one case that he has been able to con into, he's actually got his hand out saying, hey, pay me. This family is struggling. I guarantee
He's a private investigator. He should be saying, pay me. That's what he should be saying. I wouldn't work for free.
father is a mess. He's trying to just do the best he can, and he's got these vultures coming out and just attacking him.
That's all.
And all of a sudden, Betty's not a vulture. Okay, Betty.
A whole lot of projection.
All this stuff that we're doing here to keep us away from the drama, away from the noise, dedicated to finding Layla, dedicated to Layla and her information, making sure that the family has, at least bodies out there to help. And we're going to continue to do that free of charge to this family. We're not asking the family.
Okay, but it's not free of charge because you make money on YouTube. It's not free of charge. Just stop.
For what?
You're not a private investigator. You didn't go to school. You don't have any kind of credentials whatsoever, any kind of licensing whatsoever. So you wouldn't be able to charge the family.
One dime. We've never asked any family for a dime. Now, granted, if he was like his reputation was so gold that you would jump out of a plane to have this man search for your, like Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Special edition of Web Sleuths YouTube Live. My name is Tricia Griffith, and this is a very special night, and we really want to make a difference in this case. So, Insightful One, please introduce everybody and tell us about the case.
Okay, so on panel tonight we have Chloe and Steve he's from SF Investigates. He's on Twitter. That's what a lot of you know him as. They work together. They're both private investigators, and currently they're helping in the case of missing Layla Santinello.
And St. Rock, I totally agree with you. And my feeling is, I don't know why everybody is so fucking afraid to talk about money. If I'm a licensed PI, I'm sorry, I'm not doing it for free. I'm just not. You're not going to see me. You're not going to ask a lawyer to do it for free. You're not going to ask so-and-so to do it for free. Why would I do it for free? I'm a licensed PI. That is my job. That is how I make a living. I went to school for it. I get paid for it. I'm sorry your daughter's missing, but that doesn't mean I work for free. I just don't get it.
And so here also we have Layla's dad, George, and her stepmom, Brittany. And from what I've read, Layla was 20 at the time she went missing?
Correct.
And then she's just disappeared. And that was in June 27th of this year.
I talked to law enforcement. I talked to two lieutenants on the case 3 days ago and then 2 days ago. And I will say that they're frustrated that they're getting a bad rap. They told me that, when she went missing, they were dealing with, in some areas of the Greenbelt, the 4 feet of flood water.
Right.
They couldn't get in there. The dogs couldn't get in there. But now it has drained out. And when I talked to them last week, they said searches were going to be ramping up all through the weekend, which had just passed. And there'll be intensive searches this week with professional search and rescue crews. We hopefully will be able to get in there too and then assist as well. We put it together where it's structured professionally, and we'll have search grids, and I'll bring in thermal drones and do some stuff. Chloe and I and some other people that have experience, and we don't want to step on their toes. And that's one thing that I talked to them about extensively, like because they did say that they were having issues with a couple other people. And Chloe, this is the first time Chloe's met. Chloe is my PR partner. And we work with a team of I think 7 or 8 others.
He's been nothing but ethical, professional, and that's why we trust him here.
Yeah, we're thankful.
You
Yeah, we are blessed.
I was going to ask, because it was somebody else asked in chat, is there a GoFundMe set up for you guys?
Yes, there is a GoFundMe set up for our behalfs. Yes.
So would you like us to share that link?
Yeah, would you like us to promote it?
Yes, I mean, if people are asking, I mean, all funds are all going to Layla's search.
I'll tell you what, why don't you just send Insightful One the link, and we'll put it in the description for the GoFundMe, okay?
Okay.
Just want to say I'm very, very sorry for what you guys are going through. I'm a mother of 4, and I can't even imagine.
Thank you.
So please, however we can help, let us know.
So what do you have to say about that? That was nice, classy.
I feel bad for Layla's dad and stepmom because I feel like they're just now about to be just completely ran over, and you can't really tell them anything because they've gotten at this point they need to learn for themselves, and it's just we're going to be watching this train wreck go.
And now she's going to dog SF Investigates partner, Chloe.
Oh, Chloe, don't be getting your knickers in a wad over such an insignificant person over your little boyfriend. Aww. But you're dating your partner. But you're dating your partner, lady!
Didn't she sleep with other people? I won't mention names because one of them I like, but allegedly she slept with fucking JLR and Dolly. So come on now.
You guys are an item! I'm a web sleuth, I'm not a PI.
Andrea is blatantly accusing a professional private detective of having an extramarital affair on her husband. She's also degrading her in front of the new clients, Layla's dad and stepmom. You go, Andrea. You go.
It means your friends have already done told on you. So, whatever, girl. You go do you. Go do you. Tell your boyfriend Steve I said hi, and quit trying to pick on a woman. She got the whole next. Oh my, next.
Oh, she sure did. Look at that. Oh, next. How can be successful without sleeping with my partner?
Chloe is married with children. This is what Betty spends her time doing, degrading SF Investigates on his Twitter account and arguing with them all day.
Next. Next. Oh my, next.
Now let me also state this. If I had a missing daughter, God forbid, if I had a missing child, and someone I knew was trying to help me, and this is the way they acted, they would be off of my case immediately. Betty, you are not doing yourself any favors by acting like a jealous hoe. And that's exactly what you're acting like. So you need to get the fuck over your jealousy and move on. You got bigger things to worry about right now, don't you? But yeah, putting down someone else who's trying to help the case just because they're getting money and you're not, they have licenses that you don't. Don't forget that. So when I heard this morning, I was like, oh my God. And again, I wasn't going to get into it. I don't like, I don't mind doing reaction videos. I actually enjoy doing them. But I don't really like doing people like Betty that everybody else covers because I just think it gets really fucking played out really quickly. But when I saw that, I was like, yeah, I got to react to that. That's bad. Because I can't believe how stupid she is. I don't think I've ever truly met anyone that's that stupid. Well, Heels put it out today. I believe there was a hearing. Hey, Smile Now. Yes, she's getting sued by, there's a crossfire. I can't think of the word I'm looking for. It was today, right? I don't even know what county it's taking place in. I should know because I've read the papers, but I always forget.
He's probably.
All right. Now Tyler's live, but Tyler has something with Nancy Grace, who looks old as fuck. Countersuit, thank you. But he's got Don the Marshal on. Let me see what he's playing. Oh, are you kidding me? He's one of these people you can't rewind. Tyler. Hold on. What's he playing? You want to laugh? JLR has more subscribers than Nancy Grace. No joke. Nancy Grace has 95,000 subscribers. You hear my stomach? Hey, Fayette. Yeah, JLR's lawsuit, his fight with Unirock, which I don't know where it was, is in, because people said it like that. Ohio, I think, but I don't know where in Ohio. So what is Tyler playing? Hold on. I don't. He's got her on the screen, but I can't find where she wore that outfit. I have no idea what he's playing. Oh my God, my stomach's going nuts. Let's see. Nope. She's wearing something that I can't find on her videos. That's weird. Hold on. Listen. All right. Now this is new. I have not seen this, but I did not know that they put him down to his underwear this morning. Did you guys know that when they arrested him? He's down to his underwear when they put him in a truck. No, that's my stomach, Spitfire.
We are back with a Fox News alert. Pennsylvania State Police announcing the capture of escaped convicted murderer Danelo Cavalcante. They're set to hold a press conference at 9:30 this morning. He's been on the loose for almost 2 weeks now.
13 days. Hallelujah. I mean, this guy is in custody now. He's back. He'll go back to prison. He escaped, remember, shimmying up the wall, doing that crab walk. There he is after he took this, stole this green hoodie from the farmer out of his car and shaved his face. And this was him caught on a Ring doorbell. He apparently went to some coworkers' houses, asking them for some help, I believe. He broke into a house and took someone's rifle.
Tried to contact his sister,
right,
who was also here
deported.
illegally, who will likely be deported. Remember, he
from Brazil,
illegal immigrant who's facing murder charges of his
Remember, they had to shut down schools because parents were so scared that he was in the vicinity. He was in that area, and they were worried he'd try to break into school.
And also, he got his survival training in the jungles of Brazil. He's done something similar before, and he's already breached the perimeter that they thought had him lassoed in. And I think it's also important to point out how resourceful he is and how much worse it could have been, because he's stealing guns, going into people's houses. This guy is looking at the rest of his life in prison, and he had nothing to lose, and thankfully no other lives were lost. I did not think he was coming in alive.
Yeah, armed and dangerous. They're saying that he may be in custody. We think he's still alive, escaped prisoner in custody, it says. That's what the PA police are telling us. But he is charged with stabbing his girlfriend more than 30 times in front of her son and daughter, who were young.
Yeah, the perimeter, as you mentioned, Ainsley, expanded multiple times. Multiple times they thought they knew where he was and were closing in, only to have him escape. Quite brazen, the extent to which he would go into people's homes, steal vehicles. He stole a medical white van, went in and stole that 22, was shot at 7 times by the homeowner in the middle of the night. From what we understand, he is in custody. We don't know the condition of this escaped illegal immigrant, again, who shouldn't have been in the country in the first place, is facing murder charges, his girlfriend deported, potentially, and now he
His
appears
sister,
as
not girlfriend,
his sister deported. Now he's in custody.
Right. A couple of things to keep in mind. Once they got him, you got to look back at that prison. I mean, to have 2 people escape the same exact way, and then people were saying that prison is understaffed. That prison can't get guards. That prison has so many people on overtime, some are just not even showing up. And then you look at the cops and law enforcement.
So from what I understand, the dog took him by surprise and he went for his skull, which is where all the blood came from. And I was looking for different things, and I found one article that said that he was sleeping in leaves, that he made like this pile of leaves that he would sleep in. I couldn't even imagine all the bugs that were there, but that's what he was sleeping in. That's why he stayed covered, because he was in this pile of leaves. I have not been able to find a picture again, but I did see it this morning.
And how they're underfinanced, underappreciated. This is a symptom of that. And it's extremely embarrassing, but they finally got him all these weeks later, and it could have been so much worse. In about 30 minutes, we're going to get the details. We have a press conference.
So he's a little guy. I think he's 5 feet tall. His name is Danelo Cavalcante. Here's his picture. This is his mugshot when he has the beard, when he has the mustache. Broke out of prison by doing that shimmy up the wall, and then got up on top of the roof and learned that someone else had done it the same way in the prison. And that's where he got the idea. And if you watch that video of him shimmying up the wall, doing that crab walk, he looks around, he looks in the glass door, no one's in the glass door. He looks around the corner, no one's there. So he feels like this is his chance. And he shimmies up the wall. And when we showed the video yesterday, it looked like there was a lookout guy, someone in the prison that was helping him do this, to look out to make sure he could get away with it.
No doubt. And he was trying to find people that he knew or he'd previously had some relationship with to get assistance. We don't know yet whether he had the extent to which he had assistance on the outside to stay on the loose for that long. Brian, you mentioned corrections officers in these facilities that are understaffed. You're exactly right. This is not just this one prison, although that it should be under scrutiny. It's a nationwide problem, not to mention, I mean, the bigger issue here is our porous southern border that is allowing millions of people whose backgrounds we don't know to come into our country. Then they commit a crime like this. Ainsley, you were referring to this. Crab walking up the side on the bottom right of that screen is the blurred out, is the lookout for that. He's been on the loose since that moment. Look at this.
He's looking around. He looks in that glass door to see if anyone's there. He gets the go-ahead. All right, it's time. Here we go.
And the other guy that escaped the exact same way, he was stopped by the lookout because the tower spotted him, and they got him.
Brian.
This is it. And this is a live,
live footage.
Live footage.
Wow, that is.
When I first saw this, my question was, is all of them 5 feet tall? He's 5 feet. Not one of them is like much bigger than him. So you're telling me that all of our army people are like 5'1", 5'2"? Nobody is towering over him for someone who's 5 feet. If I saw this, I would think he was 6 feet tall.
It's a different
That must be
hairstyle
his
than we
rifle.
thought.
Yeah.
And Nate Foy says the ground crew, the aviation's been pulled back, the ground crews have gone. They got him. And I believe.
Actually, the dog got him. So I don't know why these people are holding a picture like, you know, he's a celebrity. The dog got him.
Pete, is National Guard involved there?
Look at all the police.
I don't believe.
Is that not National Guard?
That is not. A lot of federal and state law enforcement have that kind of camouflage uniform. So that I.
They fucking took a picture like it's a celebrity. Even here's my cell phone. Take a picture. Like, what the fuck? That was weird to me. And I saw that earlier. It's weird.
Do not believe that's not the National Guard. That's your more specialized police forces, probably brought in. I know we heard there was federal help coming in.
Right.
So you've got specialized manhunt teams there. And if you're dealing with a wooded area, which much of this is, then you would want to have woodland or some type of camouflage. Those are law enforcement officers, not National Guard.
So the quick thing, that is dramatically different from the Ring doorbell. I mean, didn't he have a shaved head?
Well, he had a
Could that
hoodie
not
on,
have
so
been
you
him?
couldn't see his hair.
Wow.
You couldn't see his
so it
hair.
was pulled back. So
yeah. And he shaved. He looked completely different in the shaved pictures with the hoodie on than he did in the in his mugshot.
We must be getting helicopter footage there, I would imagine, at this point, following that capture. Shows you how many assets were on the ground.
Yeah.
Looking for him. Looks like he's wearing an Eagles sweatshirt, probably took or stole from somebody else. He changed his pants. I remember we heard those were discarded at some point in the process.
I mean, how terrifying for all the neighbors in that area. They were shutting down schools. They were telling people to secure your property, make sure you have a weapon with you. I mean, I'm sure if, you know, for women out there, I wouldn't want to be in the house by myself.
Right. And think about this. The self-control of all those police officers. You know they're dealing with a murderer who had them up 24/7 for days, and you know how they feel about him, but they're treating him with respect.
You can see the vehicle says Special Response Team on it, so they've got highly trained units out there looking for him within the cordon perimeter. Obviously, we don't see a rifle on him at this time. I wonder if there was any exchange at that particular moment. There we go.
What do you think he was thinking at that moment? You think he was thinking maybe I should run and get killed? Or you think I surrender and that's it, I'm done?
You see in the bottom right-hand side, some of the weapons that were used, you got long-range sniper rifles.
Do you think that was the rifle they took from him? Is that a 22?
I don't know. Do you think it?
It looks like it.
It doesn't look like the rifle that the law enforcement would be carrying. So, Chris,
you can see
our
the white. Is that
stage
the scope
manager
of it?
who knows a lot about rifles, was pointing that one out. That likely.
See it? He's holding it
Yeah,
up.
I see it right.
You can see the mahogany wood or whatever kind of wood that is with the scope.
It's got a scope on it.
Yeah.
Could be a 22. That's what.
Wait, and that's
reported
his
was
that's
missing.
his back, his bare back, right? What are they cutting?
Well,
off
I gotta imagine they're also verifying. You could verify with tattoos exactly who he is. They're also, you know, you want to make sure there's nothing in that.
Right.
These are probably pretty standard protocols of what law enforcement is doing. You just usually don't get this kind of shot.
You know what? Off the top of my head, they don't know if he's wired with something.
Sure.
Right? So you got to cut him away.
Or if he has other weapons, right?
Right.
Well, you would imagine they would have done an initial hasty search, no doubt. I mean, to pat him down and determine if there was anything else on him. Now that you're booking and processing and transporting him, they'll go to the next level. You see that they're taking photos. Maybe there's a tattoo on his wrist.
Dude, they're not taking photos for police purposes. They're taking photos so they can post them on their social media and look like fucking heroes. I mean, let's be real.
As well, but certainly on his back, these are all things you use as evidence to identify.
I heard in one report that he also committed a crime in Brazil, a similar crime. Has that been verified? Have you
I've heard that too. Again, confirming we're not getting the best on a lot of these people that are crossing illegally.
Right. We don't know much about them.
Maybe wanted in their own country, involved in gang activity in their own country. Potentially, we don't know. but this is a pretty dramatic footage here.
Yeah. Thank goodness they caught him.
Yeah, so this was a story that Nate Foy's been covering from the first minutes. I'm sure he's got the update on the ground. He's the one who said they've pulled the aviation units out. They pulled the ground troops out, not troops, but the ground units out, police. There was a push this morning, I heard, for the National Guard to get involved. After all, this might be too big for cops. Now think about this. You're already understaffed. You're already underfinanced. Think about the resources needed, the way people were pulled out of their towns to find this guy.
I'm hearing from some friends here chiming in that these are definitely SWAT.
For someone that escaped twice, though, I'm actually surprised that his feet are not handcuffed. Why his feet are not handcuffed? Why he's not handcuffed feet to arms? Many murderers are handcuffed arms to feet. So I'm actually really surprised that his feet are loose.
Teams on the ground right there. SWAT teams wear that kind of tactical camo. They wear them for all operations. They're doing what is called a safety search, is what I'm told. And by the way, in 2017, he killed someone in Brazil. That's what I understand as well. So that was the previous criminal activity. But yeah, you're going to search head to toe this guy before you transfer.
Well, so you killed somebody in Brazil and you still passed the background check here?
Well, there was no background check, Brian, at the southern border these days.
It's an open border, Brian, in case you haven't noticed.
Anybody can come right on through, and maybe
Right.
we'll help you and get you to the city of your choice.
So this rocked that whole community. The reason we covered this extensively, he was on the run for 13 days. He escaped prison. And then the whole community, the school district, the O.N.J. Roberts School District announced that they were shutting down schools.
The convict, we understand, was in his home.
Yes.
Crazy. I agree too, though, that if the dog hadn't have captured him, he probably wouldn't have been caught. I definitely agree with that. I think he would have been able to elude police. And it wasn't even people saying a police dog. It was a border patrol dog, which I guess is a police dog in a way. But so the psychic was right about the day. Psychic said before Wednesday. So the psychic was right about the day, but wrong about him being killed. And I'll be honest with you, though, I thought for sure that he would have been shot. So I am really, really surprised that he was taken out alive. To me, that says a lot about the cops that were involved. It says a lot about the teams that were involved. They didn't want him dead. They wanted him alive. Even though they had orders to shoot, it really surprises me that he came out of this alive. Like, really surprised. But it's a good thing that he did. First thing I thought of this morning, that damn psychic. I'm telling you. But they were right. They did say before Wednesday, but I don't think anyone could have guessed that he would have been taken out alive. I really don't. Now, I can assure you, and I know this is going to sound terrible, but I can assure you, if he was a black man, he wouldn't have come out alive. If someone wants to argue that with me, go right ahead. But I can assure you, if he was black, he would have been shot and killed. No questions asked. Lucky guess? I don't know. It's kind of hard to pick a day. They did have the day. Hey, Kendra. They did have the day right. I knew they had him when they had the heart signature come across the scanner. Oh, the heat signature? Yeah, he was caught off guard by the dog. The dog totally caught him off guard. And like I said, he was in like this pile of leaves. It was crazy. I was like, who would want to sleep in that? Ew. See, Sarcastic, you didn't even come here. You watched JLR at T-Rev. I was running it. Honestly, though, I'm not going to lie, and I said this last night, if I was making the money they were making for running it, and with all the views, super chats, and everything else, I would have stayed on all night. I wasn't making anything, so I wasn't staying on all night. And it was funny, though. I had the scanner running all night and didn't realize it, that I never turned it off. And all of a sudden, I hear like a voice, like a guy's voice. I jumped out of my skin. I was like, yeah, thank you for reminding me, Smile Now. I forgot about that. So a lot of people wondering if he had help. According to him, they did like a 4-hour interrogation of him. He did not have any help, which that's what I said originally, that I don't believe he had help or he would have got a pair of clothes. But he didn't have any help. He found some watermelon or had an unlimited supply of watermelon. He ate watermelon and had water from the stream. That's what he survived on. So, pretty interesting. Sarcastic again. If I was making money they were making, I would have run a stream all night too and had all 4 things running. People have to forget that. People forget that. That again, you know, they were making so much money between the views and super chats. Why shut it down? T-Rev had one stream that had almost like 300,000 views. That's like $500 right there. I wouldn't have shut down either. I would have kept it going 48 hours the whole time. They successfully cut off. I guess Laura doesn't know how it works. I'm out of here because she's doing Betty. What Betty talk? I'll wait. Saints Rock, what Betty talk am I doing? Please, enlighten me. Oh, you mean I should sit here for free? Is that what you're talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. But I'll call you out on that. What Betty talk am I doing? Do-do-do-do. I'm waiting. He was caught this morning. Yes, he was caught before Wednesday. Well, before Wednesday means before Wednesday ends. Okay, Sam Rock, I guess you can't give an answer. Because true text, and I hate when people are like that. So I'm just waiting for an answer of how I give Betty talk. I guess they can't answer. Because there's nothing I said that was not factual. How is she right if she's saying it was before Wednesday? Before Wednesday ends. It's not before Wednesday like on Tuesday. Wednesday. Thank you, True Texan. By the before Wednesday.
Subscribe. I always try to tell them, but they do it every time. I tell them it's a problem, but they acting like it's fine. I'm begging them to stop, but they leave me with a like.
Before Wednesday means before Wednesday ends, meaning before it turns Thursday. And it did happen Wednesday morning. So they were kind of dead on. But again, I don't think anybody could have realized that. No, by Wednesday means Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. That's what by Wednesday means. That's the heat signature. Explain to me how they had the day right. I don't know. But what I don't understand either, though, is why didn't they have the heat signature prior? Some psychic that I saw on TikTok. How did they not have the heats prior to that? I don't get that either. I don't understand how they didn't have that previously. I thought they were using heat signature the whole time. It was really late at night from like 2 a.m. till morning 7 a.m., 8 a.m. Yeah, I heard about that too, Smile. Yeah, I was on a couple of times, Sarcastic. I mean, honestly, we were all streaming the same stuff. Nobody was like streaming anything differently. We were all streaming the same stuff. Certain people I wasn't streaming, and I stuck by it. It's the dog that is wise. They caught him standing and he had his gun anywhere near his body. See, that's another thing I thought of. Why didn't they shoot? Like, why didn't he shoot the dog? I don't understand that either. All right, so we can go back to that, but let's move on to, yeah, everyone had the same scanner feeds, the same this, same that, but JLR was promoting T-Rev, T-Rev was promoting Nick, and they had this 3 little circle going on, and many subs fell for it. And honestly, many subs fell for that triangular T-Rev, Nick, and what's her name? And JLR, and the 3 of them just promoted each other, and they all had the same views, and they all grew the same way, and they were all, you know, it was a guys club, a boys club. And if anyone else didn't notice that, I apologize, but yeah, it was a boys club, because Steve from what's that channel called? I can't think of the name, but Steve is funny as hell. The dorky guy who does the tornadoes. Why can't I think of his channel all of a sudden? I can't think of his channel. But he was really good too. He reports only on facts. I don't know why the channel went blank. Oh yeah, total boys club Fayette. No, not recovery. Agenda free. Thank you, Amber. Agenda free. Agenda free TV. I know him from tornadoes and stuff, but he covers a lot of big things. It was a boys club and they didn't welcome down. It was a total boys club. It was disgusting. Well, I didn't, Crystal. Tiny Dancer, I know. The 3 of them were promoting each other. It became a triangulation of the 3 of them. Steve Lookner, yes. And it is what it is. He is so nerdy, Sly Angel. I agree with you. I mean, but in all fairness, Crystal, whether you like him or not, if he was one of the only ones on the scene, then of course you're going to show it. If he had footage that other people didn't, definitely. I found Chris O'Donnell from News 29 was the best. And I didn't have to constantly watch super chats and I didn't constantly listen to stupidity. That's why I streamed Chris O'Donnell. I liked his stuff. If I knew Agenda Free was on, I would have done him too. Yeah, so I don't know what happened. Something happened between Dolly and JLR. But it really was a boys' club. It was disgusting. I think he did an awesome job this time. Okay. Everyone likes, I mean, he definitely kept people entertained. They were promoting each other, but JLR and T-Rev did the most of that. In my opinion, I only watched Chris, yeah, Fox 29. See, and Nick, I can't stand. I did stream him a little, but once I found out he was a total criminal, yeah, I was done. Totally done. The minute I hear that you're anti-Semitic and that you're a racist and that, like, this is proven and you're a con artist, yeah. And not even from, like, 10 years ago. We're talking, like, you know, a year ago. Like, you just got out of jail 3 months ago. That's not for me. Yeah, new, and he's got more subs than I do. Chris dropped the F-bomb and his mom called him. Did he really? I didn't catch that. That's funny. Hotter weather made it fairly useless. Oh, okay. That makes sense. See, there you go, True Texan. You watching, Granny's watching. And she was out there. They didn't give her a promotion. They didn't fucking shout her out like they did the others. She was getting the same footage everybody else was. How come nobody was shouting her out? Because it's a boys' club. Narcissists don't like women. And we all know who the narcissist is. And it's not T-Rev. Just saying. Alright. Moving on. So Brian Enton ended up in Idaho today for the trial. Not trial, for the court date of will they allow cameras in the courtroom of Brian Kohberger. So this is what Enton found out. I did too, Tiny Dancer. I thought he was great. Alright. Yes, so Brian Enton found out. Lawyers for Kohberger, prosecution attorneys for the Media Coalition are here. Attorney representing Media Coalition is arguing to the judge that the media does not have the right to intervene when First Amendment and access issues come up. Judge is questioning whether the media has the right to intervene about the camera issue at this point in the Kohberger case. Attorney representing Media Coalition says this is an access issue, that people have the right to see what's happening in the Kohberger courtroom. She says people should not have to travel to the courtroom to see what's happening inside. She's kind of got a point. Judge is still questioning whether the media has a right to intervene on this. There's an increasing need for people to see for themselves what's going on inside courtrooms in this country. Attorney representing the Media Coalition at Kohberger's hearing says. She's right, though. Judge says in the Daybell case, the media was characterized as interested parties, but he's questioning whether the media can intervene in the camera issue at this point in the Kohberger case. Judge says media cannot be interveners at this point when it comes to question of cameras in Kohberger's courtroom, but he says he will still consider the media's argument. Kohberger defense says they are concerned cameras in the courtroom will turn the case into a spectacle, and this will turn more into a TV show drama. Kohberger's defense says even though the media here is doing their job, people on social media still take the images and manipulate them. Okay, nobody's manipulating Kohberger's images. Kohberger defense says, unless you're Betty. Kohberger defense says they do not like where the camera's placed in the courtroom. They feel like there's a camera right behind them. If the court doesn't remove the cameras, the defense wants the cameras in a different location. Kohberger judge brings up interesting example, says there are cameras on the House floor of C-SPAN. Maybe putting a camera at the back of the courtroom out of the way is better. Kohberger prosecution says media plays an important role in court process. They want to protect vulnerable witnesses, graphic evidence. They say the safest and best way to address concerns is prohibit cameras in courtroom or to keep cameras out during certain testimony or evidence. All right, so that all went on for the first hour. I'm sorry, but what are you hiding that you don't want cameras in a courtroom? What is the big deal? People are going to be there anyway. People are going to show up for the hearing anyway. It is going to make it to social media anyway. There's going to be a leak. There's going to be people that go there regardless. You're not gaining anything by not having cameras in the courtroom. You're actually putting yourself in a vulnerable position by not having cameras in a courtroom. Maybe there's something that you could have possibly gotten from a courtroom. Maybe that, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that it's beneficial to not have cameras in a courtroom. I think it's way more beneficial to them to put it in a courtroom. Just my opinion. Kohberger judge says the media has pushed the envelope. That's what media does. Media coalition lawyer tells judges photographers in the courtroom are getting wider shots. They can't control who later zooms in on the photos to show Kohberger. Kohberger judge, this is hour number 2, by the way. Kohberger judge says he questions whether cameras in the courtroom is a dignified way to have a trial. He brings up O.J. Simpson. If anyone watched that case, it's a circus. Now, let me ask you guys something. Don't you think it's kind of up to the family? Why are the judges, the defense, why are they, not the judge, I mean, he ultimately says anyway, but why shouldn't it be up to the families if they want this recorded? Why does the criminal, a man that allegedly, we'll say allegedly, murdered 4 people, why does he get the final say? What about the 4 people that don't have a voice? So in my opinion, cameras should absolutely be in the courtroom if the families of the murdered victims want them in the courtroom. You know what I mean? I just don't think it's right that, you know, that the defense gets to decide or the defense gets to fight it. No. Let the fucking families decide if they want cameras in the courtroom. Why should Brian have the ultimate say? We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, Brian. So you don't get a say in this. You get no fucking say. Media Coalition argues that having cameras in the courtroom is the only way to have a real source of what happened. That's true. No cameras makes it easier for bad information to go out, which is what I was saying before, that it's going to get out there. If there's no actual footage of trial, responsible consumers have nowhere to go. I agree with that. The answer is more sunshine, not less. Attorney representing Media Coalition at Kohberger's trial. If you want to avoid spectacle, take away the cameras outside the courtroom, not the camera inside. Media Coalition lawyer says. Okay, this is all the second hour. Judge says he's sending out a message to the media to be respectful, peaceful, and decent. Kohberger defense is back up, says they are not trying to throw the media out, they're just talking about the cameras. Kohberger judge says this camera issue is interesting and powerful, says a lot of balancing will go into his consideration. Kohberger judge says Kohberger judge says other trials with cameras have gotten out of control. They spun out of control, in my opinion. Judge says he will try to do the right thing for the public and the parties. No decision today on cameras in the courtroom. Court is adjourned. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think about cameras in the courtroom? I personally see what everybody is saying. I get what everyone is saying. I get the judge's point of view. I get, everyone's point of view. But at the end of the day, this should be on the jury. I'm sorry, not on the jury, on the families of the victims. Nobody else needs to worry it. The families want the cameras, and the cameras should be in there. Kohberger does not have a right to say, well, I don't want cameras. Well, I don't think the families want it to be there. I don't think the families, I think they would much rather not be there if you hadn't have killed all of them. So they want cameras. They have a right to have cameras. It's their victims. So the defense gets a just trial. Yeah, but cameras won't take, I get what you're saying, Crystal, but cameras aren't going to take away from that. Transparency is important. Victim's family want the cameras, and the camera should be in there. Plain and simple. Unless they're going to allow them to keep it. I mean, as horrible as this is going to sound, and as brutal as this might sound, let's call a spade a spade. If it was your child that was brutally murdered, wouldn't you want a video of that motherfucker being sentenced to death, sentenced to life, justice, almost like a wedding video? I know that sounds horrible, and I'm probably saying it wrong, but almost like a wedding video. You want to watch that motherfucker go down over and over and over. Anytime you see your daughter or think of your daughter, you want that video. And I know that sounds horrible, the way it's coming out, but read through the lines. You guys know what I'm saying. You kind of want it as a trophy. Like, I want to watch this over and over and over. I wonder if they're going to sequester the jury. Because then it doesn't matter if there's cameras or not. So I wonder if they're going to sequester them. And if you don't know what sequester means, it means that they are not going to allow jury to go home. They're not going to allow them to watch the news. They're not going to allow them to do anything. They're going to have to stay in a hotel with no phones, no radios, no nothing. I don't know if they're going to do that. But if they do sequester a jury, there's no reason why they shouldn't have cameras in the courtroom. Now, what the defense is saying, I agree with. Position them differently. You don't need to have a camera on me. I don't need a camera behind me. I don't need a camera in my face. It throws me off. I get that too. Absolutely, Crystal. I agree with that. Every moment of the start of your child's life, you would want to know everything about the end. Absolutely. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I just don't think Brian Kohberger has a right. And I understand people have rights. Prisoners have rights. Everyone's got rights. But don't you lose rights when you murder 4 people? I mean, come on. Do you ever lose rights? True. I don't know. I'll gladly go down there. Me and Jen Between said we were going to go down there. I just don't want to book a flight and then, you know, it gets canceled or it gets moved. But that's a case I do boots on the ground. See me with my little notepad. But then again, I don't know. In Iowa, you can't bring cameras in a courtroom. Not, but see, Baby Blue, here's my thing with that. And I have always said this. You go to jail and you sit in jail for the most part while you're waiting to be tried. So you're already perceived as guilty, or you wouldn't be in jail. People that physically get out on bond, well, they're not really perceived as guilty. But if you're sitting in prison while waiting for your trial, you're perceived as guilty. That's why some have bond and some don't. I haven't been in court. Oh, nothing's changed much. You'll sneak one in? Nah, seriously, you can't, in Iowa, you can't. They put you through a metal detector and everything. No ruling. Yeah, no judge ever rules immediately. There's not a judge in the world that rules immediately. And if a judge gives an answer in a week, I'd be shocked. Most times it's 30 days. Sleuthy says if you're screaming that Brian Kohberger's hearings and trials should be video recorded for transparency so you can see how guilty he is or see his lack of remorse, then the reasons for sunlight and transparency in the criminal justice system have gone clear over your head. Does Sleuthy Goosey think he's innocent or something? Because I've seen her write some real off-the-wall stuff that makes me think she thinks he's totally innocent. The family wants the cameras.
State of Idaho versus Brian Kohberger
could soon be banned if the judge grants the defense's request to bar all cameras from the courtroom. But this latest legal move, backed by the prosecution, is against the wishes of at least one of the victims' families.
We're all for truth, transparency, the cameras being in there and letting the community decide.
Kaylee Gonzalez's father says banning cameras from the proceedings could fuel online rumors and misinformation.
It's chaos on the internet. It's chaos all over the world. And I'm done with that.
In a 7-page motion, Kohberger's attorneys claim camera crews have ignored a 2-month-old court directive to stay wide on the entire courtroom and to not focus exclusively on Kohberger, pointing to examples of what the defense claims are blatant violations of that directive that were later published alongside sensationalistic and prejudicial headlines. The prosecution siding with the defense, arguing it's concerned that camera coverage will have a substantial chilling effect on the ability of witnesses to testify, while noting certain witnesses have already been subjected to threats and harassment. Facing 4 first-degree murder charges in the stabbing deaths of Kaylee Gonzalez, Madison Mogan, Ethan Chapin, and Xana Kernodle, Kohberger officially waived his right to a speedy trial at a hearing late last month, pushing his October 2nd trial date back indefinitely. For Kaylee's family, every day without justice is agonizing.
When you ask for the victims of murdered children to just shut up for extended periods of time, and you say that you're not going to give justice for perhaps years, it's not acceptable.
We learned about 15 minutes ago that no action will be taken today on the decision on whether or not to ban cameras from the courtroom.
Again, no judge ever gives a decision immediately, like ever. Exactly. Keep the cameras on the judge. There's a lot of things they could do. And they don't want to. Problem is not the cameras. The problem is mainstream media trying to control the narrative. Okay, maybe. All right. That's all I got for you guys tonight. All right, what's this? Do you guys want to watch a video with Brian Etten and Consalvis before I get off? I just saw there's a video Brian posted. Yeah, but who's threatening witnesses? I mean, really. Kendra, while you're in here, what's the new information that Tyler had? Do we know? Did you see it? Because you couldn't rewind. Hey, Alexis, you couldn't rewind on his stream. I was really frustrated.
Provides other than a gap.
All right. So I'll play this and then I'm going to get off. It's like 17 minutes.
Take is that cameras are the community needs to determine who this individual is. You cannot ask for the community to do the death penalty without their vision, without their support, without their understanding of all the aspects of the case. It's more than just the jury members. It's the community. It's a message for everybody to understand. In Idaho, this is how we work. We're not the same as Chicago. We're not the same as Miami and New York and LA. This is how Idaho perceives a major incident, and this is how we react to it. And we have the resources to do that. So I don't know what removing the cameras really provides other than a gap. You know, and we've had a gag order in this case, and that didn't work out well. You know, you hear about other people who've been placed under a gag order. It doesn't seem that the Constitution works well with this constitutional time of when it's okay to speak about, I don't know, I don't want to say the truth, but I want to say when people are going to speak about a case and let the audience decide what the truth is. You know, gag order is an old version of controlling the narrative. You can't control it anymore with, you know, social media, TikToks, and, you know, like I've said before, It's not NBC, ABC, and these three medias that control this narrative. The whole world sees everything. So pretending like you can control, and what are you trying to control? Are we just displaying truth in action? To me, the courtroom is truth in action. So why do we hide that?
Were you surprised, Steve, to see the prosecution also now say that they don't want cameras?
I want to say yes, but I'm shocked at how many times the prosecution and the defendant are on the same page. And then there's some certain things that they have in common, and they rise up. They rise up over and over and over. I won't say them now, but if they keep rising up over my daughter's truth and justice, then I will just call them out on those commonalities that they have. And I mean, I just want a camera. I just want the truth. I just want everyone to see what's going on. That makes me radical. Okay, I'll live with that.
Shannon, does it matter what the families think in the eyes of the court? I mean, I've seen the filings from the prosecution, defense, the media. Like, does the family have a say when it comes to the cameras?
Well, I mean, ultimately, I can't speak for the prosecution in this case or the defense in any way. As an experience, as a prosecutor, as a former prosecutor, and we always listen to the victims. A lot of times, the victims have an opportunity to speak to us about resolutions, how the case might be resolved. Certain things that go on during the case, we want them involved in along those lines. And so, I think that's part of the family putting out the statement today, was to voice their opinion about what they thought about having cameras in the courtroom, and hoping that people were listening to what they were saying. So I can't speak to the prosecution or the defense and what they might be thinking. So,
I mean, in your role representing the families, does the prosecution come to you like with situations like this and say, what does the family think about cameras?
Well, we were always hopeful, but I think that's the reason we put out the statement today. I think if we had been approached or asked in some way about that, at least the Gonzalez family, I'm not sure they contacted. I don't know. I can't speak to see if they've contacted.
Okay, tell me he does not look like the guy from Virgin River. He absolutely looks like, I forgot his name, from Virgin River. The main character, the guy that owns the bar. That's exactly who he looks like.
Any of the other families. I don't think they contacted the Cornudo family or the Mogans about the courtroom, cameras in the courtroom, but they did not contact the Gonzalez family through me to ask us what our opinion was. And the family stressed to me that they thought it was an important thing that the world know and people know what they thought about it, and that they thought it was important that cameras be in the courtroom. And so that's why the statement was put out by the family, to let people know what their thoughts were.
In the statement, Steve, it says that the case is surrounded by secrecy. Can you elaborate on that a little more? Like what you guys meant by that?
I've talked with multiple family members, and I want to be respectful for everybody's viewpoint. And there is some fear that the cameras will record things that are gross. They're not ready to have their friends and family members come to them and say, hey, did you hear about this or that? And I understand that. I really do. So they come to me, and I reflect what they're saying. I absorb it, and then I also tell them from a legal perspective, from my lawyer counsel, it's hard to really argue what a camera is going to be in a courtroom negatively. Like, we're here asking for somebody in the community to judge this individual. So let's just hang it out there. Let's show every aspect and every fact that I feel is a fact. The community should agree that that is a fact, whether it's DNA or whatever it is. So, but I still respect all these family members and their own individual processing of their preparedness for what's about to happen. And
Okay, don't hate me, but I feel like I'm watching a stoner. This is like dragging. Usually I'm interested in this kind of stuff, but this is like dragging. Like, he's talking slow. And I don't understand why he has an attorney. Like a separate attorney. Is he suing somebody that I missed that he personally needs an attorney? Is there multiple lawsuits that I'm not aware of?
it's terrible. You really cannot prepare yourself to understand that the legal system is going to drag all of us through the mud. And that's the only way you can get to the truth. So if I'm going to go through the mud, I'd rather have all the witnesses that I can possibly have than to create a narrow bubble there in Latau County and Moscow and say that, I want to have the support of everyone, that the justice was put in place and the evidence was that clear.
I'm thinking about, them wanting to tear the house down, the university, and sort of the fight over that. And now not wanting cameras, and the prosecution also not wanting cameras. And they gave their legal arguments, which, I guess makes sense in one way, that witnesses might be scared to testify with cameras rolling, especially like emotional witnesses. But I'm also wondering, do you think any of this is connected? Like, without cameras, the story sort of goes away. The town doesn't look as bad. Without the house, you don't have to think about it every day. The school can go back to normal. Like, do you think it's all connected, or do you think it really is just sort of legal? Like, both sides just don't want the cameras for the legal reasons?
100%. The reason I'm talking to you right here, right now, is because there is capital business decisions being made on top of justice systems. So no, there is no way to pretend like these all equal and they all equate to the same motivation. Somebody's going to lose, and it isn't going to be my daughter. I will sit here. I will speak to every single microphone, every single camera before I go to court and after I go to court. If you force me to do it, I'd rather the courtroom speak for itself than me. I don't want to speak. I'm actually quite a private man. But if you force me to protect my daughter, then I will speak at every moment that I have to do just that and protect her. And that's what we're doing today. We're protecting the truth. We're protecting where the truth is going to go. The truth needs to be in that courtroom, and a camera will never, ever hide the truth. So why remove it? Why do you remove a camera? Well, maybe it'll protect you from, like me, I misspoke. I might say something wrong, but I'm a father. I can deal with that. The repercussions of that is fine.
Yeah, but what he's forgetting, though, it's still on record. If somebody misspeaks something, it's still stenographed. Is that what it's called? I forgot what it's called. But every single comment, face gesture, that's all recorded. Doesn't even have to be on camera. I mean, that's like, the cameras are for us. The cameras aren't for the courts. You don't submit, camera evidence to an appeal board. So he's making it out like the cameras are for the courts. No, the cameras are for the people. The cameras are for inquiring minds. They're definitely not for the courts. He's making it sound like it's for the courts, and that's just not true.
People seem to be scared of the repercussion of their mistake. And I say just embrace it and let the community decide what the truth is. We either got the guy or we don't. It's pretty simple.
Yeah. And just a few more questions. Since Kohberger waived the speedy trial, I think we all thought maybe the trial was going to be really soon, and now it could be far away. I mean, how are you dealing with that? Are you still processing that? I mean, I feel for you guys having to continue to live in this weird legal limbo.
You give up all your notions of normal when something like this happens. And you hope that your community feels for you and embraces you, hugs you, and says, we're going to take care of this.
Let me just say, I was watching a trial, or parents. Don't ask me who it was because I don't remember. But they brought up an interesting point that once the trial was over, they had nothing left. They had nothing. They lived years, about a trial, and their whole life was about a trial, and, getting the man convicted that killed their daughter. I think it was Lauren from Staten Island. And, they spent all these years with a trial, and then once it was over, they had nothing else. And they felt so empty, and they felt so alone, and it was like they were grieving all over again. And I know that's how he's going to be, and I can't even imagine what that's like. I don't ever want to know what that's like, but I do understand that. And I don't think he realizes that either. But once it's all over and he's away, you have nothing left, and then you just grieve all over again. And the whole process of grieving starts all over again. It was very interesting.
You hope that your community says, we're here for you and we're going to make this right. And that's why I'm there, for them to have the vision and the cameras, and everybody needs to be in that room, because they're the ones that are wrapping their arms around me, Chrissy, and our children. They're saying, we're going to do, this is an outsider. He came here to hunt these dumb hillbillies and teach us about what he said was cloud computing and forensic. He thought he could come here and hunt dumb hillbillies, and he could get away with this. And now that we have him caught, we need to be able to hold him accountable, and the community needs to be a part of that. And taking cameras out of there makes it a double standard. You can't say that they're accountable, yet they're not a part of it.
Yeah. How are you guys doing? The last time I saw you in court, Olivia was there with your granddaughter. How are they doing? I'm sure in some ways, life has to go on. You have some positive things happening too with your granddaughter. How's everybody doing?
In some ways, we're in a pause of a movie. You can just go forward, but you just got to keep rewinding, because you don't know what you've missed and all these facts. So it's no way to live. It's no way to be. And we try to treat our children different than what we're going through. It's my responsibility to hold this individual accountable for what he's done to my family. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm talking. That's why this is happening right here, right now. It's not because I care about anything other than justice. And that's why I'm pushing for cameras. That's why I'm pushing for this, because I'm a biased man. I'm a biased father. So let everybody have a part in this. And then It's a lot easier for us to have a conviction that we all embrace. And then the rest of me and my family don't have to hear the haunting effects of messages saying that, if there would have been cameras in that courtroom, it would have been a different outcome. If we would have had truth and transparency in this case, if it wasn't all about business, then there would have been a different outcome. So you only have one moment to make a statement, and that's the moment we're in right now and why we're doing this. Shannon told me we had a couple of interviews. I don't keep track of this. He keeps track of this for me because there is a gap. It's a gap in leadership, and the leadership, I want them to hold everyone accountable and do all this. And when they don't, our phones are being rang. People are calling us because somebody else isn't picking up the phone. That's really why we get involved. I don't want to be the guy talking to you, to be honest.
Well, one thing I can say, he's definitely not Mr. Petito. That I can tell you.
Yeah, you sort of become like the spokesperson, though. I mean, it's, like you said, it seems like if you don't hold people accountable, it's like in life, things slip away or whatever.
For me, Kaylee would have expected me to be her father. Not 1%, not 10, not 50% of the time. Like I handed off to a judge and a prosecutor to be the father. I'm going to be her father 100% of the time. And when I tell whoever did this, you picked the wrong family, it has to be backed by action. And I'm that action. I'm that person saying, I'm going to be the voice that doesn't go away, even if both sides want that voice to go away.
Makes sense. Is there anything else, Shannon, you think is important that we didn't touch on with the statement, or just that you want to get out there going into the hearing tomorrow?
I mean, there's a lot of procedural things that are going on in the next couple of weeks. I think the family will be there either by Zoom or in person. I'm not sure. We'll figure that out. It's not worth it to really get them in there for 10 or 15 minutes to, like Steve said, for a whole day's worth of stuff. So, but we are, we're looking forward to some of the stuff coming up, the scheduling order, picking new trial dates, the alibi issue, the indictment stuff, all decisions on those things. The court has a lot of stuff in front of him that it has to make some decisions on. We're looking forward to those things. The cameras in the courtroom tomorrow. I'm sure there'll be some oral argument on that tomorrow. I think we'll all be there by Zoom. I'll be there by Zoom. And, it's.
So obviously this took place yesterday, but the one thing I want to say before I get off is I can sympathize or empathize with Steve simply because as a parent, and I think of my own father. My father would have done anything to protect me. And when my father couldn't protect me, it ate him alive. So if, God forbid, I was murdered, I can only imagine the guilt. Like, we don't know if she didn't want to go to Idaho and Steve made her go to Idaho, or if that wasn't her college of choice and they talked her into it. Like, he may have guilt for something that we know nothing about. And just as a parent, I can only imagine feeling like I should have done this, I should have done that, I shouldn't have done this, I could have done this. So he's probably dealing with his own inner guilt that he may not come forward about. He may not tell anyone about. But I can only imagine like what he's feeling and feeling that way. So I get it. I really do. But on that note, I'm getting off. I have candles to make and stuff to do, and it's tons to clean and get this room in order, because I can't even fucking find anything, let alone trying to print anything. So yeah, I got to get it back in order. And I got to find my lost vape somewhere in here. So with that said, I will see you guys later. Patreons, Making a Murderer drops another episode, or Convicting a Murderer drops tomorrow. I'm going to drop the last two videos for reaction videos for 2 and 3. I will do that hopefully before tomorrow. Second one is done. I still got to do the third one. So, mods, excellent job. I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful